Hi, John here from Toffee Studios, and I've got Mr. Whippy with me, and today I'm going to do a quick video on 10 things that you require when you're owning a guinea pig. Right, so the first thing that you need to consider might be obvious, but that's the cage. Now, there are many types of cages, and you'll see a lot of these very poor store-bought cages that when you put a guinea pig in them, they start to look small, and the more things that you put in them, the smaller they get. Now, we do not advise, like many people, we don't advise purchasing like a pet shop cage for these guinea pigs because they are way too small. The easiest solution is a CNC gridded cage. Now, they're like square grids and they're clipped together nice and easy, and then you get some Corex for the bottom, and then you can put in whatever flooring that you feel is best for your piggy. And these come together, they're relatively cheap and they're fairly easy to get hold of. And for the space requirement, if you've got two piggies, they recommend at least having a 4x2. Obviously more space that you can provide the better. We have one of these, but we also have a zone DIY cage that we've made ourselves out of a couple of IKEA tables that flipped upside down, and then we've used some clear perspex with some vivarium runners. We can slide the perspex in and out so that we can get easy access to the cage, and when we want to let our guinea pigs out to free roam, they can just jump out the cage. That is another point as well that I'd like to think. Free roaming guinea pigs is something that I highly recommend. We at Toffee Studios really encourage, because allowing your guinea pigs to free roam gives them even more space, so they're not just trapped in the cage. They can, provided you guinea pig proof the areas, make sure they can't get into contact with any wires that you might have laying around, make sure that they can't get behind the sofas and things like that, then allowing them the extra space to run about really does give them plenty of space to exercise, shows that they get curious, and we find ours have zoomies a lot and they get daft heads on a lot, and it really does enrich their day. Like many guinea pig owners, we first bought a guinea pig from a pet shop, although it was in the rescue section, and we bought a store-bought cage to go with it. They kind of forced us into buying one. We didn't want to get one from there, but it was kind of part of the deal for adopting him because it was his first guinea pig. Now, when we got him home, we got him in that cage, he looked pretty small as it was, but we didn't know as much as we do now back then. And they were also quite happy for him to be on his own. We noticed signs of depression in him, where he was just sitting staring into space and things like that. So we eventually found a breeder, a local breeder, and he told us that that was signs of depression and that we need to get a friend. And he actually had a little baby guinea pig that we could take, and that was Blackjack, and his first guinea pig was Toffee Apple. And once they bonded and we've got them in that cage started to look really small, and that was when we started doing our research into better style cages, and we ended up with a CNC cage after that, and it was just so much better, just so much more space, and they really thrived in that cage together. Right, next up is pellets or nuggets, whatever you prefer to call them. We recommend nuggets over the muesli because if you have muesli in there, they will cherry pick and they'll pick out their favourite bits. Like ours would just pick out the pea flakes and leave the rest. Whereas when you have a pellet or nugget, it's literally everything's crunched up and then reformed into a nugget, so they're getting a bit of everything with every mouthful. Now, the nuggets that we use, and we highly recommend you look for either this brand or something similar, is the grain-free Select Science. Now, the reason why we choose grain-free is because the grains and the cereals that they use as fillers in things like pellets, they're just there as extra sugar to buffer it. Now, the sugar and the carbs from these can really lead to problems later on in their life with the digestion, and possibly lead to conditions like diabetes and obesity in guinea pigs. So it's something that you need to consider. Now, with a grain-free one, instead of using cereals and wheat, they use the Timothy basis to create these nuggets, which hay is the most important thing for a guinea pig anyway. So we just give them these and they're a nice little nugget. The guinea pigs love them. It'll be happy. I've fed these all day. So yeah, that's what we recommend. When we first started with guinea pigs, we did buy cheap store brand pellets because we thought that there wouldn't be any difference, and we did notice a difference. Toffee and Blackjack were on those for most of their life, and they was chunky, we'll say. They had issues. Toffee had issues going to the bathroom towards the end of his life as well. He had problems with his poops. Then, but we did notice once we switched out late in their life, Toffee's and Blackjack's coats became much shinier, much healthier. Blackjack lost some weight. He lost some of his podge. He was still fat, but not like overly fat. Guinea pigs should have a belly, but not like massively over, which is what was happening with the cheap nuggets. So we paid out for the more expensive grain-free ones, and we did notice a difference straight away, and it did help Toffee a little bit with his bathroom issues as well. So it is something that we have experienced firsthand. Next point is hay. And as everyone should know, hay is like the most important thing. This is like 80% of what they eat. And now a good quality hay, this is Timothy hay, is what you need. Now we have used some cheap store-bought hay in the past, and it's not been anywhere near the quality that this is. I would highly recommend, if you've got a local farm, try to get bales from there, or if not, I will put a link in the description to where we get our hay from, a company called Haybox, and in that link you'll get a 10% discount. So if you're interested, this is a really good place to get it from. You can get these bigger boxes like this. We typically tend to get 3 because our guinea pigs go through it fairly quickly. But you can get them in smaller 2.5 kilo boxes, or you can get this, which is a 5 kilo box. You can get a 10 kilo box or a 15 kilo box. When I say 10 and 15 kilo boxes, they just basically give you 2 or 3 of the 5 kilo boxes. So we will typically get the hay and we will feed it to them. We get fresh hay every day, sometimes twice a day, depending on how fast they're going through it. It's like their favourite thing. We've had some of these compressed hay bales that we've had before, and sometimes we've found that there's been horrible roots in them. Sometimes they've been very, very dusty, and it's caused some of our guinea pigs to have sneezing fits. So we like to get a nice high quality hay like this from Haybox, because you need fibre in their diet, and you want it ideally to be dust extracted. There may be some dust and some small crumbs in there, because it's just what happens, and when they chew it they'll probably create a few more. But if you get dust extracted, you're not going to have it all over the hay from the start, and the guinea pigs, it won't interfere with their nasal or their breathing as much. Right, next we're going to be talking about the flooring and fleece and things like that all in one. So as your substrate, as the flooring, what goes down on the bottom, we prefer to use fleece liners. We've made our own. There's plenty of places that do really good ones, but first I'll talk about what we used originally, which when we first started off, we used wood shavings. Unfortunately, Toffee had a very sensitive nose, and he was sneezing a lot on wood shavings. And we ended up doing some research, and people told us to try something called Carefresh. It's like something that they use in horse stables, and apparently it's not very dusty. We got that, and even though it says it's meant to be odour absorbing, it really stunk when we just had 2 guinea pigs on that. And so again, that was something else that we moved away from quickly because of the smell. Next, we was recommended a wood-based cat litter, and this was actually pretty good. It didn't feel very nice because it was quite firm and quite hard, but it absorbed the wheat, kept them dry. It looked kind of similar to shavings, but it just didn't feel very comfortable for the guinea pigs. Eventually we moved on to fleece and we bought some liners. I think we got them from Guinea Dad originally, and those were really good liners. But one thing that we did find with the liners that most people provide is that they're too big for washing machines and washing purposes. So when we bought these big liners to go in as cages, we couldn't fit them in the washing machine properly, and you had that in and it already felt overloaded. So we ended up going back and designing our own liners, and we've actually split it into 3. We based it off the bath mats that a lot of people use from places like IKEA, and we measured it and we cut our own liners into, so we've got like 3 of those in one cage, and that made it so much easier for washing. It made it so much easier for replacing, because we have if you have one liner that where all the food is, they typically use that to go to the toilet more, and so then you can just swap that one out more often than the others. Now we prefer fleece because we found that the guinea pigs seem to prefer it as well. They will lay out on it more, they will be out in the open more. And then the other thing that you can have is you can have like fleece beds like these. Guinea pigs love to lay on the soft plush stuff. Even though some people like to go for natural, the guinea pigs do like comfort. And as you can see, TK's got all squished up inside this. So we sell products like this. We have the tunnels, the squish tunnels, and we also have our hidey houses. And at the moment we've got 20% off on everything on our website, so if you want to check any of our products out, feel free to go on there now, and you'll get 20% until this Sunday, 20% off. And yeah, like I said, our guinea pigs really approve of these products. As you can see, tea cake's like already got all squished up in there, it's all cozy, and that's the most important thing, is their comfort and their happiness. Next we want to talk about enrichment. Now there's plenty of toys and things like that you can get. Now personally I would mainly aim for anything that is hay based, because that's going to be the main focus of their diet. So you want toys, cookies, things like that that are hay based, because they're going to be chewing on, they're going to be eating them. I mean, you've also got your hides and your tunnels and things like that that they can use. Now a good example of a hay based treat, enrichment toy, is something like this hay cube. Hay box where we get our hay from do sell these, and they sell them at quite a good price, and the 10% off code will still apply for these as well. This is basically a box with meadow hay, and then it's got some herbs, guinea pig safe herbs in there, like dandelion flowers and things like that, and these are absolutely fantastic. Our guinea pigs love them. They eat and eat and eat out of them, and then once they've eaten enough, they'll try to climb in and they'll use it as a hide. And you can always top it up with more hay if you want to carry on using it for that. Plenty of other toys like that that they have on there, like gnawing sticks and things like that. Things that I would avoid is anything with colouring. Mainly from personal experience, the colours aren't natural, and I don't know how they would affect their digestion. I know personal experience, myself and my partner have a problem with certain food colouring in his own diet, so I can't imagine it'll be very good for a guinea pig's diet either. So that's just something to keep in mind. And also watch out for things that are overly sugary as well, because some treats that people make, they literally use honey to bind them together. That's something that can cause problems. Other things to watch out for with treats is things like glue. We have seen treats that look like they've been hot glue gunned together. Sometimes these are like little wooden hooks and things like that, but what you need to be aware of is that guinea pigs' natural instinct is to gnaw, and if they see something like glue, they may try to chew on it. The other thing that we have noticed with some treats is that they've used animal fats or possibly even egg to bind them. That's something else that a guinea pig would not eat, so I would avoid things like that. Just when you pick up a treat, just have a look at the packaging. If you can, aim for grain-free ones, because they'll be the ones that generally don't have anything in them. So yeah, always remember when you're getting treats is look out for small parts or seeds. Seeds can get stuck in the throat or stuck in the teeth, things like that. So always keep an eye out for things that look unnatural and not very safe with the treat. A tip that I would always suggest anyway, whenever you give them something new, is sit with them and monitor them when they're first interacting with the treat, because you'll be able to spot any bad signs straight away with the treat. Most guinea pigs will generally be fine with most treats, but you're better off being safe than sorry. Now, the last thing I'd like to say about enrichment toys is that you can DIY your own toys. If you get like a empty toilet roll tube or kitchen roll tube, you can just like stuff that with hay and herbs, or pea flakes with hay, and put that in the cage, and the guinea pigs will use that for ages. They'll be pulling out the treats, they'll chew the cardboard to get to the treats and the pea flakes inside, and that can be really good for them and entertaining for hours. Next up, what you need to consider is a food bowl and water bowl or bottle. Now, with the food bowl, we recommend a bowl that's got like a shape that's kind of like that way on the outwards, so it doesn't tip. Because what we found is a lot of guinea pigs, in fact all our guinea pigs that we've ever had, like to stand on the edge of the bowl, and if it's just straight down or it curves in or anything like that, that bowl's just going to flip. And when we used to have the plain bowls before that was that shaped, within 5 minutes they'd be upside down, and then the nuggets would be all over the floor. Since we've got the more pyramid shaped bowls, we have got most of the guinea pigs will stand on the edge and they'll eat the nuggets, and we don't have that issue anymore. So they're the best kind of bowls. Now with water, we would either recommend a bottle. Make sure that if it's plastic one, it's BPA free, but we found our guinea pig prefer drinking out of the glass bottles. So when you've got those, you need to be aware that the bottles are going to need cleaning, because with the water being stood there for time, they can develop algae inside. So you'll need to have a good quality bottle brush and make sure that you're cleaning those out regularly, so that the algae doesn't develop. Now, sometimes you'll find that guinea pigs don't like drinking out of the water bottle straight away. You can offer a water bowl, but we've not had any success with that, and we just find that they end up getting full of pee and poo. What I would suggest personally is, if you pick the water bottle up occasionally on a guinea pig that doesn't drink, you just keep offering it to them in the face. Eventually they'll start licking it and they'll start drinking from it. They'll require you to hold it for a little bit, but like if you just keep doing that every day, maybe 2 or 3 times a day, eventually they'll get the idea and they will just go to the water bottle. Earl was notoriously bad at drinking for us, and it took us ages to train this behaviour into him, but now he drinks like a fish. He really drinks a lot of water. Next, you need a variety of vegetables. You need to keep mixing it up. Don't keep feeding the same thing, because they need to get these vegetables in so that they can get all the vitamins and minerals that they need to keep them going throughout the day. And just like with us, if you had the same meal all the time, it would be boring. You get sick of it and then you stop eating it. Whereas guinea pigs will be the exact same. So just keep changing it up. You only have to change like 1 or 2 things every other day, and just to stop them from getting bored. Like mix of different lettuces. Just pick things like little gem lettuce or romaine lettuces, things like that, and then have like peppers or tomatoes and carrots, cucumbers. There's lots of different things. You can even give them treats occasionally with things like fruits, like apples and grapes, strawberries, raspberries, watermelons. Just be wary of seeds, and just make sure that they're getting everything they need, especially vitamin C. You can get things that are high in vitamin C, because that's a very important part of their diet. So things like kiwis, bell peppers, things like that are really good for them. Something else that I wish I would have done right from the very beginning is get yourself a vet fund. Now, this is not like anything that you can really buy, because obviously it's going to be putting money to one side. But the reason why I say this is because our very first guinea pig, when we got him, literally a few days after we had Toffee, he ended up with an upper respiratory infection, and we had to take him straight to the vets. And then, unfortunately for Toffee, he did have a lot of health problems throughout his life. And eventually he had a problem with his teeth, where one tooth would grow straight forward, one of his bottom teeth, and his other one would curl back normal. So we had to have him to the vets regularly to have that tooth ground down. Now, for me personally, I would say in the UK you want to have a vet fund of about £200. Unfortunately, I don't know what you would need in like the US or in other countries because I'm not familiar with their vet price. But in the UK, I think £200 is quite a good thing to set. But what I would also do is when you feel that you can add a little bit more money to it, maybe just chuck £5 in here and there just to build up that pot, like maybe price for a coffee. And if you do that maybe once or twice a month, that'll keep you on the safe side in case you do get any vet bills that come up, because them vet bills can climb quickly. And some of the vets are now being investigated in the UK for overcharging customers, so it's just something to be aware of. So on that note, guinea pigs, while at face value may seem like a cheap animal, like you can go in and buy them from pet shops for, I don't know, I think it was like 2 for 30 quid last time I checked. Or, I mean, there's plenty of places where they're giving them away for free. So you can get these animals really cheap, but they're not as cheap as what you think because of the vet bills. Now, you can be really lucky in life and you can have a guinea pig and you go through and it doesn't have any problems, which awesome. But always plan for the worst, because we've seen it with so many people, so many guinea pigs just having health issues, and it's just something to be aware of. Have that fund there to be able to take them to the vet and get anything done that you need to do, and just be aware of this. Make a list of things that you need so that you've can, if that helps you, so you can tick things off as you get them and as you meet their requirements. Another thing that you're going to need is a really good pet carrier. We've got 2 cat-sized pet carriers so that we can have 2 guinea pigs in each room if we have to take all 4 guinea pigs anywhere. We also leave them out so when they're free roaming they can climb in and out of them, and it helps familiarise them with the pet carriers so that they're not scared of them when I'm putting them in to take them anywhere. Right, now the final thing that you might need is what I call the care kit or an emergency kit. Just things that will help either day to day or something that you might need in an emergency if your pet does get sick. One of the most important things is a good brush. We use this slicker brush. It's firm, but the bristles are actually soft to touch, and when you are brushing through, it does actually get off any of the dead hair. And then, unlike regular slicker brushes, we just got this button, and all the hair just peels off easy. So when you brush them, it just comes off really easy. And keeping them well groomed is a good way to be able to help and check for things like mites and things like that, so you can spot them early. Speaking of mites, one thing that you might need is some mite treatment. We just pop a drop of that on the ear and you try to do it once a month just to make sure, because prevention is better than the cure. Also, always good to keep on hand if you've got a guinea pig that's really itchy is children's Benadryl, or ideally some children's allergy relief with this in. I'm not going to try to pronounce it because I'll butcher the pronunciation, but that can just help with the skin allergies and dust allergies that the might be feeling that they have a problem with. So if they get really itchy, that can help. And obviously, to go with that, any kind of medicines, you're probably going to want some syringes. You can buy these off eBay and you buy them in big 100 packs for a few pounds. They're quite cheap. Something else that you should always keep an hand is critical care. You can either make your own or you can buy it. We've got a few packs of this still in, but you can make it by crushing up the vegetables and crushing up the nuggets, and adding like some banana and a bit of water just to moisten it down, or you can use actual critical care. And it just makes sure that, like, if your guinea pig stops eating for any reason, that you can still provide them with the food to help them get back on their feet. Another thing that we have is this Lucillin is antiseptic spray. So, like with T-Kit recently, she's been scratching to the point where she's cut a wound open, and if you spray some of this onto a little cotton wool swab and then just clean the wounds, it can stop them from getting any infection, and it can be quite helpful for that. And then if they've got any kind of skin allergy or skin issue, this can also help with that just by spraying it and brushing it into their fur. And that's another really good thing. Now, nail clippings, you can do them yourself at home, and we, unfortunately, because I've got diabetes and my eyes aren't very good and my hands aren't steady, and I get a bit panicky with them, I don't do them myself. I take them to our local rescue and let them do it. Cavy is fantastic at doing nails, so I always take them down there. But I always carry stick powder whenever I have the nails done. all you need is to take is open the powder, to just take a pinch of that if the nail starts bleeding, and then just push it onto the nail and hold it there for a second, and it will stop the bleeding. And styptic powder itself has got it's got like a coagulating agent, so it makes the blood clot quicker, and it's got like a anti-inflammatory in it there to help like numb and take out some of the pain for them. And then lastly, one of the items I want to show you is these antiseptic eye drops. We've recently had a couple of eye pokes with our guinea pigs where they poked themselves in the eye with hair, and they've had a big piece of hair sticking out their eye. That freaked me out a lot. And Lumi, especially, when I pulled it out of her eye, it was like a piece that was like that big, and I was panicking because all her eye was right red and puffy. But a few days on these eye drops and that cleared straight up. So just having some antiseptic eye drops in can save you a trip to the vets. Always though, if you use that, don't just rely on these. If it doesn't look like it's clearing up, contact your vet immediately. My vet told me to just keep on these for a few more days before actually coming out to see them, so they did quite well, and then I went back to normal. If the eye goes cloudy, then go straight to the vets. So I hope you found this video useful, and if I've missed anything, please leave that down in the comments, because we're all here to help each other out. And if you like the video, please hit the like button, and please consider subscribing as well, because that really does help us out. I've been John from Toffee Studios, and I'll see you next time.